Kevin here, and today we're back with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I want to show you what the Combat Readiness program is. So any of you that either don't have Xbox Live Gold or don't want to play online and just want to check out the multiplayer, kind of get a feel for it, or a feel for the weapons, whatever reason, you can go to multiplayer, and instead of going to Xbox Live, you can go down to this Combat Readiness program. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to throw you into a lobby that is literally just like you versus AI, or you versus one opponent and AI. Sometimes it says matched player, but I've never actually come across any other players per se. And it'll give you a random game type, and it'll always be core, not hardcore. So you can at least get an idea for the maps, get an idea for some of the different game modes, and basically it's just well, as the name says, combat readiness or training program. Give you an idea for what you're getting into before you actually go into live multiplayer against other players. And you got a couple different classes that you can choose from. Personally, I don't like maybe all of the weapons because you don't have a custom class, but I'll pick the H bar.
Welcome to the Combat Readiness Program. XO Online. Eliminate the enemies.
I'm not really a big fan of the thermal optic, but because there is no way to change your optic or your perks or anything in this, like I said, it is core, and I don't really like that H bar, so I'm gonna switch. Well, I should say I don't like the sight that's on the H bar. I'll take this KF5 instead. But basically this gives you an idea to what the weapons are, what the game modes are. This is just TDM, or Team Deathmatch. And it's kind of fun. I mean, there is no custom class that you can create. There's no changing your loadout or anything like that. It's basically just those four classes, and then any other weapons that you might run across. That's all you have to choose from. So take his AK-12. The enemy will have random weapons that can always be useful to you. And basically what I recommend is before you go into a live multiplayer match, you go ahead and play a few games of this. At least you'll get a feel for how the weapons operate and what weapons you have. Right now I just picked up this AK off the ground, AK-12, has a red dot sight and suppressor on it. It's kind of cool. I'm already used to playing with the AK-12. This won't give you a perfect representation of multiplayer because you are playing against AI, but at least you'll get a general idea for you can get any of the maps and you can get any of the game modes other than hardcore. I have yet to see a hardcore match in this. But you can play with some of the different score streaks. You can play with the different weapons. Like I said, you just gotta kind of pick them up. Got another remote turret. I don't really like the sniper rifles, so I'm not gonna pick that one up, but I will give this automatic shotgun a try. And it's, well, I don't know. I'm not sure I like this shotgun, but that's the whole purpose of this, is just playing around with different weapons and get an idea for what does what. You can get different, score streaks and get an idea for each of the score streaks and how they operate, which is very nice. You can get used to, where's good places to place sentry guns, what might be best place to, drop a Vulcan on a map. You get used to the spawn points, you get used to the paths that are most commonly taken by enemies, things like that. So it really can help you get better for those actual online multiplayer matches. You get used to where enemies are going to spawn, most likely what direction that they're going to go, because the AI does act like actual human players for the most part. Not quite as much, well, definitely not quite as much at all, because, well, it's AI, but it is fairly decent. I don't recommend using the sniper rifle. I never have liked the sniper rifle on this map, but it's a good way to try out weapons, which is what I'm doing now. I'm playing with some of the shotguns, and I don't really particularly like the shotguns on this one, so it's a good way to get started. Oh, where did he go? Ooh, what is this? Okay, get the heavy machine gun here. I think we'll try this out for a second. It's an interesting sight. I might pick up that sniper rifle just for the heck of it. But that's what I recommend. Go through here, play with the different weapons that you pick up, play with the different attachments, play with the different classes, kind of get an idea for what does what where, which will definitely help you out a lot in the actual multiplayer match. Take this MK14 for a spin, which looks like it has the target finder sight on there. And actually a pretty decent weapon. I think it's a regular version. Got us a DNA bomb. Which is, I guess, 30 kills without dying. And basically just acts like the nuke, wipes out everybody on the enemy team, which is freaking awesome, really. And this is, the Vulcan score streak. Doing this is also good because you get an idea for, on some maps, you can't use certain score streaks in certain areas, like they actually don't hit on certain parts of the map. And you'll set, your actual personal records you can set in this. They do apply to the actual multiplayer. My best before, which was actually a multiplayer game, as you can see, was 48 kills. And that match I had 41 kills. And basically you can just stay in the lobby. Now, sadly, you cannot earn any progression towards weapon unlocks. Otherwise, it would be extremely easy to just get, whatever camo you wanted or whatever weapon attachments you wanted to do it in this, but you can't, which is understandable. This is mainly just to get used to the map. Right now we'll be playing another game, Detroit Team Deathmatch. I think I'll take the ASM-1 class this time. see if I can get another DNA bomb, which is pretty impractical to do in an actual online multiplayer match. Maybe in, let's say,
Welcome to the Combat Readiness Program.
hardcore, you might be able to do it. But it can be very difficult to do, so this is just basically for fun and to get used to the game.
Take 'em out.
Each loadout is already preset, and like this one that I got with the ASM-1, which is one of my favorite submachine guns to begin with, has different score streaks on it, and actually comes with the Warbird system hack and then the assault drone. So I'm not so sure how much I like the idea of those score streaks, but it is what it is. Just keep picking up enemy weapons and playing with them. Maybe find a weapon that I like. Detroit is basically a 3-lane map. It is a very small map. It's a very short map in my opinion. I don't really like it, but it is what it is again. And this is just team death. I was kind of hoping it would give me a slightly different game mode, but that's okay, we'll play team death. And you have, of course, your different exo abilities. You know, this class had hover on it, so this is also a good way to play with some of the different exo abilities and test them out in a relatively safe environment. An environment that you don't have a constant bombardment of, you know, actual players, and you don't really mess up your KD while you're, you know, trying to do this. Hopefully I can find a weapon that I like better than this. Because like I said, I don't like the thermal sight. The way the thermal sight is in this game, I think is just garbage. But of course, you know, that's personal preference. You can use whatever sight you want. If you are going to use a thermal sight, it is definitely good practice to come into this and use the thermal sight a bit so that you can at least get an idea for what the enemies look like and what the map looks like looking through the thermal. Because most people are going to be running cold-blooded online, so they're not going to really show up very well on the thermal. But you can get a good idea for where people are going to go on here, what they're going to do. You know, try out some of the different score streaks. This map is not very good for like score streaks like the Warbird, because there's a lot of cover that people can hide behind on the ground, and there's a lot of buildings that you can go into. For instance, there's this school right here that you can go into and people can hide from you. There's those shipping containers. There's just a lot of area that people can actually hide. So might not be the best map for aerial score streaks. Oh, here we have the assault drone, which is an interesting weapon, or score streak. A little drone that you get that flies around, and you've got machine guns on it. It's really devastating in hardcore, and you can get rockets for it. You can actually get 3 rockets, and I think there is even an upgrade for it that allows it to be a automated actual assault drone, so that you don't have to sit here and pilot it, because it does take you out of the fight. Of course, as you can see, I mean, it does work. You know, it's not the most powerful score streak by any stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely going to get you a few kills. And if you're playing in hardcore, can even, you know, turn the tide of a match because of the fact that you can get so many kills with it. I'm not really liking that loadout that much, so on these different maps you're going to get different loadouts. I'm going to try this EMP3 as soon as I die, so I'm not really going to try and kill this guy. I'm going to let him kill me if I can find someone. Alright, now this weapon is a semi-automatic energy weapon. Very useful on hardcore because it's basically a one-hit kill.
Nice shot.
Not bad on core, though. It does take 3 bullets to kill somebody, but not so sure how much I like that one. It's a different weapon. Definitely going to take some getting used to.
Enemy care package incoming.
And a rocket launcher.
Package incoming.
That's cool. I think we'll take a pistol. Play with this pistol. This is a little 2-shot burst pistol. Actually, surprisingly high damage for a handgun. It only takes, since this is core, I got hit by their assault drone. That wasn't fun.
Enemy tram above. Take cover. Our UAV is
And
online.
their assault drone has the rockets equipped to it that I was talking about earlier. And those rockets are basically an instant kill, unless you happen to have flak jacket on.
Good kill.
I'm reloading. Give me covering fire.
We're winning this fight.
Interesting weapon, I do have to say that. Not my favorite weapon, but definitely an interesting weapon to play with. I love this Mayhem launcher. Basically just shoots a molten chunk of metal, which is a pretty cool idea. I've seen a sniper rifle around here. Oh, darn it, didn't get to pick it up. Gonna go play with this S12. So basically, this is just really fun because you can go ahead and try out the different weapons. And on different maps, there's different classes available that have different weapons. So you can actually go through and play with, I'm not gonna say all the weapons, but you can go through and play with a good selection of weapons, and then you know, get an idea for all of them and say, well, you know, I like that weapon, or no, I don't really like that weapon. Like this one's the RW1 pistol, which is pretty cool. And that's basically just what the combat readiness program is. They're short matches, only usually 7 to 12 minutes long, so it doesn't take very long to complete. And, you know, you'll cycle through all the different maps, mostly in team deathmatch, and just go ahead and give it a try. Hopefully this video gives you an idea and encourages you to give that a try and try out the different weapons. Remember to give it a like and subscribe to my channel.